So let's talk about what we can possibly expect from Fallout 76, shall we? I believe that at its core it will still feel very much like Fallout 4, fast-paced FPS action and hopefully a stronger RPG presence. However, we don't know how it will all come together. We have a few wild guesses being thrown out, but I'm here to try to make valid claims based on what is shown in the trailer and in previous games. Now, for starters, let's talk about the possibility of multiplayer, something that's been tossed around the internet for the last 3 days. And although this sounds like a wild good time for me and my friends, I can only see Bethesda creating a Far Cry-esque co-op experience for 1 or 2 friends, where at the end of the day, you can enjoy a lush world of carnage and mayhem all alone, while never even touching the co-op option. To think that Bethesda has built a whole new engine to support anything else is very hard to believe, especially in the possible time frame that they've had. However, I am almost certain that co-op play will appear due to the Pip-Boy having multiple communication features, one being the radio that appears normal at first, but when given another look, it appears to have a two-way radio-esque vibe, due to the cord leading from the base of the Pip-Boy to the main radio, and then the small switch on the side giving the impression that it can be removed and spoken through a lot like a two-way radio that police officers wear. Along with that, we have what appears to be a keyboard that swings down from the bottom of the Pip-Boy's chassis. This is clearly for typing and sending out messages, although impractical to use in-game, but still a possible immersive way for players to communicate with each other. And because of these two things, I think that co-op is going to in fact make it into this game. Now, what I would like to see from this, if co-op is an option, is for the game to not force you and your partner to be tethered together, figuratively and literally. Giving the players a small area of exploration near the host would hurt the flow of the game. Atop that, I don't want them to choose for you whether you are good or evil. Maybe you and your friend want to play the game differently, one wanting to be good and righteous, and the other a seriously evil raider boss. Both building up resources and taking each other's settlements in a never-ending fight, a post-apocalyptic tug-of-war, if you will. Along with co-op play, I think that the survival aspect will take a larger role in this game. New Vegas and Fallout 4 had it as an optional feature, but with this new setting, I wouldn't be surprised to see it become a normal play mode, giving players a new challenge and greater immersion to the game. I believe this is the case due to a few scenes in the trailer. For starters, we have the wake up poster that changes from day to night. Now this appears to be nothing at first, but when looked over again, the night poster shows Pip camping out in the starlight. Like I said, not a lot to go on, but just the start. Just below that is a backpack, something that hasn't been in the Fallout games for a long while now, suggesting that carry weight and strength will be more restricted and thus the player will need the extra carrying capacity. Finally, we have a few new magazines, A Scout's Life and The Backwoods Man, both magazines revolving around surviving in the wild, giving me the impression that this will no doubt be a survival game at its core. And now, finally, to round it all together, we have the date. The 27th of October 2102, 25 years after the events that took place during the Great War. This can make you wonder a few things, one being, what type of wildlife exists in this current wasteland? It takes generations of mutated genes to create the Yao Guai and the Deathclaw that we know today, so the wasteland is going to be far less lethal in that aspect. Although I would assume roving bands of raiders and survivors and the occasional pack of wild dogs could be pretty common. Even the possible military personnel or Enclave-esque faction taking what they want and hoarding it, because in this new world it's dog eat dog, and when they have a big ass gun, what's yours is theirs. And then we have the radiation. After 200 years, it would be reduced to a few hotspots here and there. However, after only a mere 25 years, the background radiation would still be pretty damn lethal, meaning trips to the surface from the vault are going to be tasking and dangerous. If item durability is back in the game, then a few bad blows to a hazmat suit could spell disaster. And if karma is back in play as well, taking another survivor's only means of traveling topside because yours broke would come at a high price, creating a moral dilemma for players to get over. Oh well. This is all speculation and overanalyzing from one devoted fan, I suppose. Who am I to say what's really going to happen or not? Just remember to like and share the video, ring a ding that bell to get notified, and I'll see you in the wastes.